Millions of us are turning to the divine for wisdom, love, and guidance. In addition to exploring our personal relationship with the divine, we are opening up to the exploration of alternative spiritual practices such as meditation, energy healing, mediumship, and most importantly, the world of trance channeling. That brings us today to the work of Barbara Beach, host of her inspiring and heartfelt podcast radio talk show, as she channels the higher frequency energies of Mother Mary. Get ready for an enlightening hour of endearing messages of truth, love, and authenticity with Barbara Beach on her eye-opening radio talk show, Conversations with Mother Mary.
Hi, everyone. This is Barbara Beach, the host of With Mother Mary. I am a trance channel for Mother Mary, and what that means is that I am able to energetically step away from my physical body and allow Mother Mary's energy to enter into my body, and then she can have a conversation with you, one-on-one with you. And so the words you'll be hearing are from her messages, and any topics that you would like to talk about, any questions that you would like to ask, just go to the archive page there at Real Revolution Radio, and you can send me an email, and I'll answer those, and then Mother Mary will answer your questions online or talk about something that you need to hear about. And I always play a little 5-minute meditation called A Heart Healing Activation by Emmanuel Dagger before I step aside and let Mother Mary come in. And we'll do that in just a minute. The last show we talked about the church, and we talked about the rules that man has placed in the church, not necessarily God's rules. And we'll see what she's going to talk about this time. We never know. It's always a surprise. So let's play the meditation tape and let Mother Mary come in and talk to you. Hello, dear ones. I am honored to be here, to be able to talk to you today, to give you my messages, to let you know why I'm here. In fact, that is a question I had from one of our listeners, and normally I answer questions at the second part of the show, but today I'm going to answer this question in the beginning. And the question is, why are you here at this time? And I have been back many times. There has been sightings of me. I have come through many people, and I am coming through many, many, many more people at this time. There are many messengers, many channelers of my messages. And what is happening in your world right now is there is a huge struggle, and you all know this if you look around. You will see it, you will recognize it, between love and fear. Or we could say the light and the dark. But in truth, it's love and fear. And many people, many, many beings of Mother Earth right now are moving back into fear. And it is causing them to step back into time, to go back to old ways that no longer worked and will never work. They are the opposite of love. And your world is to be about love. That is your purpose for being here, is to learn about love. And we talked about this before. Learning to love yourselves is one of your many purposes for being here on Mother Earth at this time. And the fear is widespread. It is like a wildfire out of control. And in that wildfire, many, many of you are stepping back into old prejudices, into hate, into anger, into rage. And it is not helping the situation, have you noticed? It causes it to get darker and darker. And so I am coming back to many, many different messengers, trying to get the message out to you that you are loved dearly, that we here in my world are supporting you and encouraging you in many, many ways. But of course, the choice is up to you. You have your free will. If you choose to step back and live in fear, that does not mean that I will go away and not be with you. I will always be with you. I will be greatly saddened by your choice, because living in fear is not living. That's surviving. That is surviving. There is no joy. There is no laughter. There is no happiness in survival. All of your energy goes into surviving day after day after day. And those days are all filled with fear. So what I'm asking of you, each one of you out there, is that you step out of the fear. I am right here with you. If you reach your hand out, I will take it and I will walk out of the fear. I will walk you into love and light. But you have to make the choice to do that. And never, ever, ever doubt that you do not have the courage and the strength to do this, because you do. Each and every one of you has immense strength and courage. You would never have returned to Mother Earth at this time if you did not have immense courage and strength. And so that is why I'm here now, That is why I'm coming through so many messengers. That's why I'm channeling coming through Barbara, is for you to hear my words, to hear my messages, and to know that we are standing with you at this time. Of course, we've always been standing with you, but if you can hear the words spoken out loud in your world, it makes it easier for you to believe and to pay attention. And you will notice that we are about you in very small ways, differently for each of you. But you will know that we are here and we are with you, and we will hold your hand as you walk back into the light. We will be there with you. So allow your fear to release and let go and come forward into the light and into love. And I will say no more about that right now. I do want to talk about something else today. And I want to talk about, and this is similar to many of our other conversations, but it is something that eats away at each of you. It's something that you learned when you were very young, and it has to do with the feeling of being less than. Now, those are my words. You may have other words for it. But what I am talking about is the words you are saying in your head to yourself. Whether it be, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm overweight, or I'm not smart enough, or I don't know how to do that. I don't learn to do things easily. I can't do those things. All of those things that you say in your head to yourself. And some of you may be saying, well, I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. But I will tell you that there is no being who lives on Mother Earth who does not do that to some extent. And what happens inside of you, what happens to your heart and to your soul, it's like sticking a pin in yourself. And it hurts. It hurts. And it deflates who you are. Each time you stick a pin in, a little bit more of the air of you, the life of you, the spirit of you escapes. And if you keep doing that long enough, soon you would feel very small, very unimportant, very unloved, and uncared about. And that is not a truth. That is not a truth. Those things that you say to yourself in your head, you would not say them to anyone else, nor do you say them out loud. It's always very much in secret between you and the abusive voice, the less than voice. It leads to depression, it leads to anxiety, it leads to isolation. And I'm sure many of you out there know someone who has gone to the far side of extreme with this. Do you not? It could be a partner, it could be a member of your family, it could be people that you work with. Now, this is not something that you think about often in the terms we're talking about it today. But if you pay attention to the people around you, you will be able to see what they're doing. You won't need to hear the words. You can see what they're doing as they become smaller and smaller. And I will say that is as far from your purpose as you can get. You have a reason for being here on Mother Earth at this time, and it is to learn to love yourself. And part of learning to love yourself is to let go of all of the less thans. They are of no value. They are untrue, they are abusive, and they are unkind. And it is time for every being of Mother Earth to love themselves, to treat themselves with the utmost of kindness. It is time for self-love. It is time for self-care. And when you are saying those words to yourself, if you will take a moment and close your eyes and go back to when you first heard those words and recognize that they are not about you. They really have nothing to do with you. They are about the person who said them, who in truth probably had them said to themselves when they were a child. But it is important to go back and to see when you heard the words and to recognize that they have no meaning for you. I also want to talk to the beings out there who are totally unconscious of saying those things. It's so ingrained and such an old pattern that they're just almost automatically in your mind. Those of you who are in that space are going to have to work extra hard to release those and let them go. And it is most necessary to do this to be able to live your life to the fullest, to love yourself, to love others, to spread the kindness and joy of life, of what life is to be about. Life was never meant to be about drudgery and depression and anxiety and sorrow. It was never meant to be about those things. It was never meant for your life to be filled up with just that. And so over the coming weeks, spend some time writing down the less than thoughts that come into your head. Anytime you have one, just take a second to write it down. You will be amazed at the list that you make. And the truth is, you need to be able to see them, to recognize what you're doing before you can start to heal them. And that is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to heal these less than words by letting them go, so they no longer play inside your head, so they no longer put pins into your heart and soul, so that you can once again be filled with light and love and come back to the huge presence that you are, so you can go forward and do all the things that you intended to do when you made the decision to come back to Earth during this time. Most of you have no idea how many gifts you brought back to Earth with you. You all are able to do incredible things. You are awe-inspiring and gifted beings. You are truly lighthouses. Your lights can shine up the world if you allow them to. And I know that there are some of you out there who are shaking your head as you listen to me saying, no, 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 no. And I am going to say, in your denial, you are the ones who most need to do the healing. If you are thinking that you no longer do this to yourself, I'm asking you to take another look. It is so important for all the beings of Mother Earth to come over into the light, into the love, and to be who you were meant to be all that you were meant to be. And I know that you can do this, that you can let go of all of the less than words and move forward. And also know that it can be most helpful to talk to someone else about this. You will find that most everyone you would be brave enough to speak to it about would be going through the same thing that you're going through. And I will tell you that the energies that are coming into your Mother Earth right now are pushing you forward to do this. And as you already know, these energies are most insistent. They are very strong and very intense during this time. And everyone is being affected by those energies. Have you noticed over the last week or so that all of a sudden, out of the blue, tears are coming to your eyes and you have no idea why? And if you stop and think, why would I want to cry? Nothing will come to mind. Know that you are releasing and letting go of thoughts and feelings from your past that can no longer stay buried inside of you. And you don't need to know what they are, you just need to let them go. So if that happens to you during these energetic times, just allow the tears to come, let them pass and be gone, and go back to what you're doing in your day. Do not let it come in and absorb all of you, and so that you're stopped in your tracks. Simply allow it to move on through. I'm going to close for now because it is time for a commercial, and when I come back, we are going to have more questions. People, listeners, have sent questions in, and so we're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about some topics that some other listeners sent in. So I'll be back in a few moments.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cleveland, we now have liftoff to a higher level of consciousness. Tune in to RealRevolutionRadio.com, the #1 source for independent music and inspirational podcast radio. Awaken, evolve, inspire, and join the evolution only on RealRevolutionRadio.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. The commercial's over, and we're going to go into questions. And I have a very important question, a long question, a difficult question, but we're going to answer it today. And the question is, what advice do you have for anyone struggling to follow God, but receives very unloving demands from the church? Like stay married, even if you are in an abusive marriage. Don't accept homosexuality. Don't accept anyone who is not Christian. Many want to follow God, but they do not receive love when attending church. It is a very polarized situation. Please advise. First, I would like to say that this question brings tears to my eyes. It is so sad that anyone, any church, any organization would take God's name and use it in such a way. Those are not God's rules. Those are man's rules. Those are man's rules. God does not expect you to stay in an abusive situation. I am here to teach you about self-love, and that's your purpose for being here, one of your many purposes. And how could you possibly learn to love yourself by staying in an abusive marriage or relationship or work situation. No, you can't. God does not intend for you to do that. These rules are the rules of man. And not being around someone because they're not Christian. What does that word even mean? You are here to learn to love yourself so you can love everyone else. And it doesn't matter what religion they are, what their beliefs are. They are light. They are love. They are part of the whole. Do you know, do you recognize that every person on Mother Earth is part of the whole that makes up all of what God is? And so God is not telling you to stay away from this place or this person or this religion. Once again, those are man's rules. And the men or women who made those rules do not know about self-love. They know about fear. All of the things that you mentioned in your question, those are things built from fear, not from light and not from love. And on homosexuality, people can love who they love. They're all just beings. And I know the words out there that marriage is to be between one man and one woman. And I will tell you that is not a belief in my world, the world I am from, the world God is from. Marriage and commitment and love is for two beings, whether it be two women, two men, or a man and woman. Once again, that is all about fear, all about fear. Fear is buried so deep and so strong in so many of you. But as I said in the earlier part of the show, we are here to help you walk out of the fear. And to this person who asked this question, I would hope that you go and find yourself a different church. Because if your beliefs were the same as this church that you're going to, you would never have asked the question. And I will tell you that I know many, many, many beings on earth who do not attend church, as you call it, but they are very devoted to God, and they try to follow his beliefs. I'm not going to say rules because he doesn't have rules. All he wants is for everyone on Mother Earth to love themselves and to love each other and to treat each other with kindness and respect, to cherish each other. And I will tell you that I am so very, very, very sorry that this has been your experience with your church and with the fact that they're telling you that this is what God says. Because God does not say any of that. There is no truth in any of it. And I hope that you listen and you go and find your way to a more loving community, a community that is more honoring of individuals and more honoring of diversity and different beliefs and different lifestyles. And we'll go to the next question. Why are some people so greedy? And greed does run rather rampant on Mother Earth, does it not? And once again, greed goes back to fear. Greed in terms of I might never have enough. If I have a lot of money and a lot of possessions, then people will respect me and hold me in high regard. But that isn't what happens, is it? or maybe in certain circles that happens, but it's not an honoring and respecting of the integrity and the highness of the individual. It's more about the person wishing they had everything that you had. As many of you already know, and some are still learning this fact, that money and possessions will never, ever buy happiness or joy or love. All it does is buy you things. And I can assure you that those things become very, very heavy as time passes. And greed is also about fear, as I said. It's about power, thinking that if you have more than the other person, then you are more powerful than they are. You may be more powerful in a fear-based world. You certainly would not be more powerful in a 5D love-based world. And for the person who asked this question, if you're thinking perhaps you could change someone from the direction of greed, I want you to hear me very clearly. There is nothing you can do to change someone from that path except to live your own life in a respectful and honest way, to show them that there's a different way. But when it comes to greed, it will most often be a lesson that has to be learned the hard way, shall we say. But it is important for you to pay attention to yourself and live in a most loving and self-caring way, and allow them to go on to learn their lesson, whatever way they choose to learn it. And we will go to the next question. Do our pets go to heaven when they die? Most certainly. Most certainly. All animals, they are beings too. They have souls and spirits and hearts and brains, and many of them have many more brains than you might think. Animals can be very intelligent, and yes, your pets do indeed come to heaven, and they are joyfully welcomed. Pets are a most perfect example of unconditional love. They offer you their all, and actually they come to earth with that is their purpose. They're hoping that you will learn about unconditional love for them and come back to earth all the time to teach the beings of earth about unconditional love. They are showing you, they are modeling for you every day of their lives what unconditional love is about. And each one of you that has had a pet and experienced that unconditional love know how terribly important it is to you, how much comfort it brings to you to know that you can just be who you are and they will love you no matter what. So, yes, we joyfully welcome them back to heaven. My next question is, what can we do as individuals to help people who are devastated by things like earthquakes and floods? And the most important thing you can do, and what you can do to your whole world, what you can do for Mother Earth, is to daily send prayers of love and light to those places where there have been earthquakes or floods. And your Mother Earth desperately needs love and light sent to her. And you may think that that is just a very easy thing to say, but it is not. Each person who does that makes a tremendous difference. They make a huge difference when you are sending love and light out to everyone, to everything. It changes the energy of what is happening there. And the more people who do that, the more the energy is changed and can uplift any situation. If you are not liking what's happening with many of the leaders of your world or the hopeful leaders of your world, I'm going to ask you to send love and light to them. And I know for many of you, you're going to think, there is no way that I could send love and light to that man or that woman. But when you send your disgust and your dislike and your fear even of them, that increases the energy they're already putting out. And it is so important that you understand this. It increases the energy they are putting out. So if the person is talking about hating some set of people or wanting to block out a different set of people, then you add to that energy. And that is exactly the opposite of what you want. Is it not? Because what you want is for them to walk out into the love and the light. And you're giving them the energy to move further back into the dark and the fear. So what I'm asking you to do is to send them love and light, which helps them to move forward closer to the love and the light. It is so important. In fact, I don't even have the words to stress how important it is to do that, to send them love and light and stop sending them your dislike and distrust and anything else that might be going around in your mind about those people. Love and light. And as we talked earlier, you all make up the whole. It's like if you're putting a puzzle together and there's a piece missing, it makes a huge difference. Do you not feel like you can never complete the puzzle? It just doesn't work? That's no different for each of you. You are all part of the puzzle of the whole. Each one is important. And I could say to all of you, to the people of the Middle East, there is such turmoil and violence and anger and hate that runs rampant in all the Middle Eastern countries. Send them love and light on a daily basis, or more than once a day, as often as you think of it. Send them love and light. Because many of those people that you're calling terrorists have no idea what love and light is. Some of them have never experienced love in any form. And can you imagine never having any love in your life? And I'm not talking about unconditional love. I'm talking about any love. The whole of Mother Earth needs to have love and light sent to it. What about the waters of Mother Earth? They have been abused and mistreated beyond anything. But yet you can stand at the river bank and think the river should be clean and nice. That's not how it works. You have to stop abusing the river and to give it healing and to help it clean itself up and to send it love and light. And to remember that there are always consequences for one's actions. You, of course, have free will. You all have free will. But once you make a choice, there can be consequences. And it is always good to think about that when you're deciding on a choice, is it not? And let us go to another question. The other question is, what can we do to help Mother Earth? And once again, it's the same answer. Sending Mother Earth love and light. And start treating her in a more healthy way. In your hearts and minds, you know the things that are being done to Mother Earth that are harmful, that have immense, and I mean immense, consequences. It's time to stop doing that. It's time to pay attention to what's happening in your world. I'm going to say goodbye to all of you now. Barbara's about ready to come back, and I want to thank you for listening, for tuning in to the podcast, and remember to send me your questions. Remember to send me any topics that you want to talk about, or if you would like to have a private conversation with me, please email Barbara and let her know, and she can arrange to have those things happen. And so until next time, I'm sending you my love. I want you to know that I cherish and love you both. Both. All of the world, both. All the men, all the women, all the children. I love every single one who is on Mother Earth. So until next time, goodbye. Hi, everyone. It's Barbara. I'm back. And I just want to thank you all for listening. And I think Mother Mary had many things to talk about today, and I'm sure she will again the next time we get together in a few weeks. Remember to send me your emails with any questions or topics, or if you'd like to have a private conversation with Mother Mary. Please email me, and I'll arrange for that to happen. And until I talk to you next time, and you'll have to come back and see what she wants to talk about then, because she never lets me know ahead of time. So thank you for listening, and until next time.
Has passed, and over 50,000 miners in over 183 countries worldwide. History is about to repeat itself. Welcome to the future of cryptocurrency. Since 2009, a new era has begun in the financial world. Satoshi Nakamoto invents the first ever cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Since then, digital money has never been the same. Bitcoin rises in value with more than 1,000% and becomes one of the most successful and innovative assets of our time. Investors who joined Bitcoin with $300 to $400 are now multi-millionaires. Our world economies are crisis. Global inflation strikes. Economic meltdown and inflation are our biggest enemies. One USD today will not be worth the same as one USD tomorrow. The value of traditional currencies declines. The future money lies in cryptocurrency. The biggest innovations and companies that changed our lives overnight are internet-based companies that build new global communities online. Apple, Google, Facebook. Cryptocurrency is the future of money transactions online. The timing could not be better. Bitcoin shows us the way, but the best is still to come. A new, innovative crypto coin is introduced into the market, based on the success of Bitcoin, but better, smarter, and more innovative. One coin to the market, already expanding into a worldwide mining network and creating history again in the cryptocurrency industry. OneCoin is aiming for the sky and will become one of the most successful currencies on the crypto market. OneCoin has a powerful founder with a strong vision. Dr. Ruja Ignatova is a financial and legal expert, well known in financial circles, with excellent education and experience in banking and finance. One of the few in top positions in the financial sector. She is passionate about the future of virtual currency, always striving to be on top of the game and dedicated to achieve her ambitious goal to make OneCoin one of the world's leading currencies.
If you would like to learn more about cryptocurrency and creating newer systems of commerce, then call Real Revolution Radio today, toll free at 844-414-REAL. That's 844-414-7325. Find out how we as a community can empower ourselves by creating a better financial future. Again, the toll-free number is 844-414-REAL. Diversify and evolve with RealRevolutionRadio.com.